Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. Today, we are going to cover an article written by Karen Dempsey. I'm likely not going to say her name right, so sorry, Karen, if you see this video and you see that your name is slaughtered. But the article Karen wrote is called Envy Attacks. What are they and how to survive them? So what I want to do in this video is look through this article, write down some areas of 3 subjects. First, what I want to cover is what is envy. Next, I want to cover are you envious yourself? The third subject I want to cover is how to deal with envious people. So the reason I am doing this video is to help people deal with people that might be envious and might want to bring you down. What I want to say before we start off this video is I am not a licensed psychologist, nor have I ever claimed to be. I am a college student. I study clinical psychology, and I am still learning what each disorder is and how to work through them. If you guys are having real envious problems, you can call a psychologist to help you guys out. You can use this video as a reference guide to help you guys understand what envy is and possibly use this as a go-to if you don't want to see a psychologist. But if the problem still continues to exist, if you're suffering from heavy mental problems or mental baggage from envious people, please seek a psychologist. So what I want to do is start off by explaining who Karen Dempsey is, so you guys can understand what background she has to talk about envy and envious people. So looking at this article, it looks like Karen has a 20-year career in printing and online publishing. She has a master's in creative writing. She is a journalist, editor, and copywriter. She has managed large editorial teams, so she is very well qualified for writing this article. She is as well accredited in practicing psychotherapy, so she is a psychotherapist. She has a master's in diploma in transpersonal integrative counseling and psychotherapy. And just doing a little bit more research of what college she went to, I see that she went to Michigan State University, which is the College of Medicine. So what I did so far is I'm not going to read word for word what she says, though I have broke down most of what she says into points where I want to teach you guys. So the first subject is what is envy. So according to the article I read, envy is a type of emotion. Envy is passive aggressive. Envy is a way of being insecure. An envious person looks up to people and wishes to drag them down to their level so that the envious person can feel better about themselves. Envious people have very low self-esteem. Envy is very unconscious, so most of the time if you're envious, you're not going to know that you are envious because it is rooted in the unconscious, unless you are very self-aware and you can know you're unconscious. Envious people think that others are responsible for their own self-esteem. So as you guys can see, envy is not a type of emotion that is productive, nor is it something that you might want to be. Envious people are not a good representation of yourself and who you want to be. So what I think about envious people, throughout my life, I have encountered many envious people. And most of the time, I didn't know that they were envious. Looking at this article, I now know that those people in the past were probably envious of me. Recently, I'm not going to go into details, but I had a friend who I think is very envious of me. We kind of stopped talking. It's a lot of anger that I felt from the person who was texting me. Looking at it, I felt that they were very insecure and how they thought of me. They mentioned many bad things I did in the past, many things that have no subject of what is now, and many things that were just about myself, not related towards what I did to them, but more of a way to bring me down as a person, and I let it get to me. So after reading this article, I now know a little bit better about how to deal with envious people. Now that you guys know what envy is, I think that understanding if you're envious yourself is a good thing to learn. From reading this article, I found 11 topics that might show that you are an envious person. After this, we're going to go into a little bit about how to deal with envious people yourself. If you are an envious person, you might put others down. Because you think of other people as higher, you might feel a need to put others down to your level so that you can feel better about yourself. Typically, if you are provoking someone and then you step back like you are the victim, this is probably you being envious of a person and not wanting to start a fight, possibly trying to undermine people so that they can feel less than you, possibly showing that you are better than someone by boasting about your past wins. Possibly if a person made a B on the test and you're envious of this person, you're going to brag about the A you won and bring them down about making the B. People who use sarcasm as a way to cover up a poke at a person, possibly people copying you and trying to do better. So if your friend was to start writing a book and then you were to feel the need that you need to write a book just to show that you are better than them, you might not say that you're better than them, but this could be a deeper meaning towards what you were doing. Possibly waiting for people to make a mistake so you could say, I told you so. So I'm going to tell you about this one individual in my life who I've cut out because of their envious tendencies. I dated many girls before in the past, and every single time I was broken up with or I broke up with them, I told you so that your relationship would not work out with the girl. Seeing this really showed me their character and who they were. The last point in this article about showing that you might be an envious person is you are trying to make another person feel bad about themselves. If you are telling a person that they are lame because they drive a car that is worse than yours, this is all envy. If you're noticing any signs, you can DM me. My Instagram will be in the description, though I think you guys should possibly talk with someone who might know you better, possibly a psychologist, as they have training in helping you become a better person. I also want to see you guys put in the comments section about times you have come across envious people and give me stories about your envious people. Don't tell their name, just tell the story, try to explain it in the best way you can so others can see attempts of envy and they can better identify what envy is. The last thing I want to tell in this video is how to deal with an envious person. So in this article, there was written about 7 ways to deal with envious people. The first one is if you catch yourself feeling down about what a person is saying, catch yourself and don't let that destroy you. Rather, have self-confidence and really use your confidence about yourself to overpower that individual's direct attacks at your person or being. The next one is don't let insults really get a hold of you. Stand up strong, have your shoulders back, smile and nod, and don't show that this is hurting you. If an envious person sees that it is hurting you, it's only giving them more power. Don't make any apologies for what they have to say. The reason they are saying this is because they want you to feel worse about yourself and they want you to apologize so they can feel better about themselves. This next one is something I've done multiple times, but it is criticizing the person who is criticizing you. This is not a battle about who is bigger or better, rather a way to diminish conflict. I'm not saying you should diminish all conflict. I think some conflict is good and learn from conflict, though I think if you see that this person is envious of you, don't try to insult them back. It will probably make them feel worse about themselves, possibly even make you feel worse about yourself for stooping so low to a level of having to insult another person. The next one is really counterintuitive to what most might think, but it is rather complimenting the envious person, telling the envious person that you're doing good, you are a great being, I've known you in the past, I think you are a great individual, and really bring them up even though they're bringing you down. So at the same time you are being insulted, don't take it as a direct attack, but rather understand that that is just them and their own insecurities, and this will likely maybe help them stop being envious of you, or maybe it might make them more mad and more envious, but at the end of the day they're becoming a better person. This next one I learned Buddhism as well as learning meditation in class, is creating an invisible bubble that nothing can hurt you. If you create an invisible bubble and pretend that this is a protective layer of yourself, nothing can penetrate you. Nothing has the power to hurt you or your mind or your person or being. By creating an invisible bubble and pretending that all these things that are hitting you are not hitting, it will work as a real bubble. A lot of things are based in minds, and if you can control your mind, then you can control anything that is going to happen to you. The last one is get rid of the envious person. If a person is making you feel worse about yourself, there's no point of keeping them around and letting them bring you down even more. Find people that are like-minded. Find people that have the same mentality and same ideas as you, or want to make you feel better about yourself. Overall, this article written by Karen Dempsey, sorry if I'm slaughtering your name, but I can say that this is a great article and I learned a lot from reading this. I learned how to not be envious of people, how to understand when envy is around me, how to protect myself from envious people, and so much more. Overall, I think you're doing great, Karen. I loved your article and I hope to see more articles written by you. Keep up the great work. If you see this video, you can add my Instagram. It will be linked in the description, as well as anyone else who is watching this video. You can check out my Instagram and hopefully follow me and my Twitter as well. Yeah, I had a great time looking at this article. Great job, Karen, and peace out, y'all.